Hey everyone, I'm just making an update video here to the DAT Soap Carving videos. Recently the CDA has put out some new soap, and I guess they've got a different manufacturer for it, and I've got a couple of questions from people asking whether it's the same or different. People say it's different sizes, different measurements, different texture, so I just want to go over that today. This is the old soap here that I used for the videos. And you can see if I did my test carvings for when I wrote the test, so that's why they're all carved up. But this is the new soap here, so I picked up a new package of soap from my university library, and I'm gonna test out the differences between these. So let's get these opened up. Okay, so I've got the two different types of soap here. This is the earlier version, and this is the new version now. First thing you'll notice is the difference in color. I guess they got to differentiate that. But a couple of things I want to look at first. So I'll look at the texture. I'll compare the texture between the two of them. Then I'll take a look at the dimensions between the two of them as well. We'll check to see if it's bigger or smaller. I also want to check to see the markability. So how easy is it to mark the new soap compared to the old soap? And I'll check the carvability too. So we'll do a little test carving, and we'll see how easy it is to carve between the new and the old. Okay, so with regards to texture, when I pick up the old soap, immediately I can feel it's kind of greasy feeling. It's almost slipping through my fingers, and that's why I had suggested to wear the gloves in the video when you did the carving. So it feels very greasy and very slippery. Now when I pick up the new one, I don't get that feeling. It still feels very, I guess, almost plasticky, but almost like a dry soap feel. So I wonder if that's going to affect how it carves, but we'll check that out later. But that's just my initial impression. It doesn't feel like it's slipping through my fingers, so that's better if you don't like wearing gloves when you're carving, but probably not a bad idea to keep wearing gloves when you're carving just so you get that better grip on it. Okay, now let's check the dimensions here. So this is zeroed out on the calipers. So let's check the diameter first. I apologize, I don't have a full uncarved green soap. Okay, so with this, I'm getting about 16.56, about 16.5 millimeters. And on the new one, I'm getting about 15.5, just under 15.5. So 15.3. So it's just about a millimeter difference, just under a millimeter difference. So the new soap in diameter is about 1 millimeter smaller, almost a millimeter and a half smaller. And in terms of length, it's going to be difficult for me to check the length though, because I may have cut down the ends a little bit on this. See, 80, oops. So we're around 82, 82 and a half. Now, it might be a millimeter difference or so here. 83 and a half. Now, I mean, that's not as critical as the diameter. You can always cut down your 1 millimeter or 2 on the ends because you have that star distance to as your leeway measurement. So that 1 millimeter there isn't as critical. I guess more critical is the diameter though. So the carvings will have to be adjusted in terms of the diameter. Okay, so that's with the measurements. Now let's check the markability here. So with this, I mean, I didn't have too much trouble marking up the soap with the pencil. Let's see if I can get a close-up of the lines here. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just getting a close-up of the lines here. So you can have a pretty good visualization of the lines as you mark them out here all the way around. So that's not too bad. Now let's check on the new soap. Yeah, you probably do still want to wear gloves when you're carving the soap because it's still a little bit slippery when you gotta hold it tightly. Okay, so that's not too bad. Same markability, I'd say. I can still visualize that line pretty well. Let's see if I was to run a straight line down it. Not bad, not bad. So that's the line. Which line is it? It's this lower line right here. Yeah, so markability I'd say is still the same. Now I guess the only difference would be that since it's a darker color, it's a little bit harder to see it. But still, you know, if you look, you can see it's fine. Okay, next category is carvability. So if I was to start carving, say, you know, let's see if I can start carving this. I'm not going to do a whole carving, but let's just see how easy it is to carve something like this. I'd say carvability is actually a little bit better. It doesn't chip as much, or it doesn't have a tendency to chip as much. It's almost like a softer soap, but not softer as in like hardness value softer. It just feels like it's not as brittle. When I was carving this, the older soap, if you pulled it towards the edge, you'd get a lot of the chip out there. But even just pulling it towards the edge here, I didn't feel like I got as much chip out as easily. You know? So, I'd say carving the purple soap is actually a little bit better in this case. Well, okay, so there you go. I hope that kind of clears up the difference between these two soaps. So just reviewing what we have here, I guess in texture and feel, the green soap is a lot more slippery than the purple soap. Purple soap is a lot easier to handle. In terms of dimensions, the purple soap is 1 millimeter thinner in diameter, and I can't really tell with the length because I've already shaved this down. Right now I'm measuring 1 millimeter smaller in length as well with the purple soap, but that could be because I've already taken a millimeter off the green soap. But again, 1 millimeter smaller in diameter with the purple soap. In terms of markability, about the same. Not too much of a difference there. It's just that the purple soap is a little bit darker in color, so maybe a little bit harder to see. And in terms of carvability, I'd say purple is a little bit easier to carve because it doesn't seem to chip out as easily. Maybe a little bit of a softer soap or not as brittle. So there you go. There you have it. Good luck on all your DAT tests with the new soaps.